Minsu stood in the baby room, gently rocking Minji in her arms, trying to calm her down as the baby's cries continued relentlessly. Just then, Wobin walked in. He paused at the door for a moment, quietly observing as Minsu struggled to soothe the child. Without hesitation, he approached her and offered to hold the baby. Minsu carefully handed Minji over, and the moment Wobin cradled her in his arms and softly caressed her, the crying stopped almost instantly. Minsu looked at him in surprise, a smile forming on her face as she wondered how he had managed to calm Minji so easily. Wobin simply chuckled and jokingly credited it to his magic hands that children seem to love. She stood beside him, watching as Minji now rested peacefully in his arms, a serene silence replacing the earlier chaos. As they stood together, Wobin turned to ask where Sunjin was. Minsu explained that he had an important meeting at the office, and she had encouraged him to attend. She leaned in to gaze lovingly at her baby, gently caressing her soft cheeks. Wobin's eyes remained fixed on Minsu for a moment. He watched her in silence, her nurturing presence radiating warmth. But something had changed. For the first time ever, there was no stirring of emotion, no pull in his chest, no lingering desire to reach out and hold her close. The butterflies that once fluttered wildly in his stomach at the mere sight of her were now gone. Whether he had finally gotten over her or simply learned to suppress those feelings, he wasn't sure. All he knew was that this shift was a victory, a quiet relief. Then suggested that he put Minji to bed since she had already fallen asleep. Snapping out of his thoughts, Wobin carefully laid the baby down, ensuring she was comfortable. He then turned to Minsu and mentioned that he had come to talk about Kim. He explained that he had heard she was pushed at Kim's house after overhearing something she wasn't supposed to hear. Minsu confirmed it, revealing that she had overheard Kim's stepmother and stepsister plotting Kim's murder. That was why they had tried to silence her by pushing her. Wobin moved closer and asked if she had any recordings or evidence of the conversation, but Minsu regretfully shook her head. She admitted that she had been too scared to record anything at the time. Disappointed, Wobin encouraged her to come forward and tell Kim's father the truth so that justice could be served. But Minsu hesitated, revealing that Sunjin had already shared the information with Kim's father and had strongly advised that they not get involved any further. Wobin grew visibly frustrated, insisting that despite everything Kim had done, she and Minsu had once been friends. Could she really sit back and do nothing, knowing Kim had been murdered? At that moment, Sunjin walked in. Calmly but firmly, he stated that doing nothing was exactly what they were going to do. Looking directly at Wobin, he explained that his family had already endured enough, and he couldn't risk putting them in danger again, especially for a situation that no longer concerned them. Wobin reminded him that Kim and Minsu used to be friends, but Sunjin made it clear that Kim was a friend who had tried to kill Minsu and had almost cost Wobin his life as well. In his eyes, whatever had happened to her was deserved, and they would not get involved. Minsu tried to interject, suggesting that maybe she could at least speak to Kim's father, but Sunjin immediately cut her off. Speaking in a firm, authoritative tone, he made it clear that he was forbidding her from doing so as her husband and partner. If she went against his decision, it would mean she had no respect for him. He then turned to Wobin and instructed him never to bring up the matter again with his wife. Finally, he reminded them that they should keep quiet so as not to wake the baby. And with that, he walked out of the room. Wobin and Minsu, now subdued, followed silently behind him.